Hi, welcome to Art of the Day. Today we're shifting gears from songs to visual art. Not art that I made. I love to collect art by people that I know and from my travels. And I just moved into this beautiful house in East Flatbush and living with these lovely people. I'm so grateful to be here, especially now. And since I can't have any of you over to see it, I'm just going to show it to you this way. So let's get started. This is an LP decorated by Peter Missing of Missing Foundation. Folks who were around the East Village in the 80s know who I'm talking about. This is a cartoon by the late great Thule Kupferberg of the Fugs. Some record execs listening to the Beatles audition, and then they say, "What else do you do?" And out here in the entranceway to my floor, here's a tiny little painting by my lovely friend Tasha Robbins. She works in miniatures and she's a lovely person. I sure wish I saw more of her. She lives in Massachusetts, but she gave this to me and I love it. Isn't that nice? And over here on the other side, when people can eventually come over here, when they come up to my floor, they'll be greeted by John Lennon. This is a photograph by the legendary rock and roll photographer Bob Gruen. And Bob actually gave this to me a number of years ago, and I treasure it. Peace. And this is the stairway down to the next floor, and here on the landing, this is a Tonka that I acquired in Nepal in my travels. I was with Patrick at this time, 1988. And there's glare on it from the covering on it, so it's a little hard to see, but the detail is just astounding. Ain't that something? And then it's a little dark down here at the bottom of the stairs, but as you go out, person can see this lovely painting by my friend Jose, Spanish gentleman, very, very nice. I haven't seen him in a long, long time. He was married to my friend Raquel, who passed away from cancer a few years ago, but I really love this. Okay, heading up into the other part of the house. What do we got here? This is reggae legend Dennis Brown, and my friend Tanya is Dennis's niece, and she gave this to me, so it's a very personal present that I love. And this goddess is from Bali. I was there in 1992. Isn't she beautiful? I love her. She watches over me. And then down here, it would be easy to assume that I got this myself since I've spent so much time in India, but this was actually a gift from Penny when we first met Krishna. I love this very much. When Sasha was small, this got knocked over, and I painstakingly glued it back together. The cracks somehow make it even more special. And down here around Krishna's neck is this amulet from Thailand. This was around the neck of the great poet Marty Matz for the last decades of his life, and he gave it to me shortly before he died. It's very, very old, very, very rare, and very, very, very special. Oh, this box. I guess you could call that an object d'art. This is from John Vaccaro, my art uncle in New York. He was a very aesthetic man, so it's nice to have some John in my house. This painting was done by my college girlfriend. She's not looking for publicity, so I will spare her, but she was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful painter. I loved her work so much. She actually decided to forgo it, and she became an actress. This painting has been in every home that I've had in New York City. It was given to me by one of my closest friends, Pablo Towler. He's an incredible artist. He works in about 50 different mediums. And I am not at home without this painting in my house. And speaking of great painters, this one is by the great Australian-American painter Teresa Burns. A wonderful abstract artist. She's a good figurative artist too. She's great at that too, but is very much known for her abstract work. This is a Huichol Indian yarn painting from southern Mexico. This is a very, very special artistic tradition of this indigenous peoples of southern Mexico, and they became very, very popular in the States at one point, and they started mass producing them down there. This one is a very old one and a really, really high quality one. Love it. Over here we have a print by a dear friend of mine for many decades, Sky Pape. She's a wonderful artist, great painter, incredible, unique collagist. She works with textured papers and 3D wall pieces. She's just amazing. Did a lot of incredible things with graphite, which looks like it may have been involved in this, but this is a print. Love opening my eyes to sky every morning. Here's a photo of me and Sasha in cooped, Bulgaria. Vlado was there to perform in a very special and important folk festival. Obviously much younger there. I don't remember where I got this little statue, probably a curio shop in Delhi. It's God's, and I love them. Oh, it's a little fuzzy, sorry. This little box is a folk craft style box from Andalusia, Spain. When I was there exploring my Sephardic Spanish roots, I keep a handful of my dad's ashes in there. And here, oh, this is mine and Sasha's musical playground. I'll show you the art in here. And this gentleman is from Irian Jaya, which is the Indonesian half of the island of Papua New Guinea. I know he looks scary, but he's got my back. Nobody messes with me with this dude around. Oh, here's something that I actually did make myself. This is carved into balsa wood. It's a flyer for a show we did a few years back with Church of Betty, Stu, and the luminous Esther Balint. This is special. This was by my good old friend Gideon Kendall, a great, great artist, great visual artist, and the lead singer in the original Very Pleasant Neighbor. This was for an album that we worked on in 1990. It was a compilation of Fang Records bands playing live at the Knitting Factory, and that's an original drawing, so it's very special to me. Here's a piece of work by Sasha. I love you, Dad. My favorite piece in the house. This isn't supposed to be artwork at all, but I made it into artwork myself. When I used to send things back to the States from Varanasi in the 90s, you would take the package to a tailor shop and they would wrap it in cloth, tie it up with twine like this. I just love the zillions of stamps and little customs form attached down here. This was my address in Varanasi, and this is where I was living in New York at the time. This is when I was living with Don Ralph of Life in a Blender. That was a great apartment. Here's a postcard from a show. This is Nikki Carson's Living Room series at the Gershwin Hotel. Played it 1,000,000 times. Always loved it. This particular one was a double bill with the great late poet Ira Cohen, the mystical kleptomaniac Ira. And it looks like the week after us, they had a show from the folks at the Museum of Sex. Okay. This is the subway banner that Deep and I played under for years, playing sitar and tabla music down in the subway. We had such an amazing time. We built half the audience for Church of Betty playing down there, and sold a zillion CDs and just played forever. It was so great until 9/11 ruined it. Here's a spirit catcher, gift from my friend Kim. You can never have too much spirit caught, especially these days, right? This is a particularly beautiful one. And over here, oh, this is an old family photo from my relatives in northern New Mexico. I did not meet them until about 15 years ago, and meeting these beautiful people really changed my life in a nice way. This is the father of my late great aunt Tia Ruth, who I loved dearly. So I keep this here to remember my people out west. And this mask is from New Guinea. I got a lot of people. Nobody can come in here and mess with me. I've got God's protected me, baby. This is a portrait of my Guruji, Balchandra Patakar. This is the man who taught me to sing the way I do, a great master of the Jaipur Gharana in India. He was like a third grandfather to me. I loved him, so I keep this here to honor and remember him. And the only band poster in the entire place is this one by Art, the only band in the world. And before I moved up here, I managed to get in touch with Michael Board and asked him to show me some of the ropes up here, and he was so cool to me. And Art is the most confoundingly delightful conceptual band ever, in my opinion. Still love them. And then here we have this is from Rajasthan in northwestern desert of India. Beautiful folk art, cloth, which I have made into a wall hanging. This rug down here is also from India, though I don't remember quite where. Maybe Kashmir, I can't remember. And the other thing on the floor here, this is also a little Indian rug. And that's pretty much my house. Since you can't come over, I'm bringing it to you. We can all be doing things like this, sharing the things that we love, art, anything really. It's just trying to stay feeling connected through this strange time when we're not allowed to be together. So I've invited you over to my house. Now you invite me to yours. Bye.